This is session 1, part 2.
Most of us want them to feel differently. So you know what we're doing with our parents most of the time is this. Here we are, so here's me, little Johnny, I was called. Here's my mum and dad. When I was little, they were bigger than me, right? They had power over me, they had all these things, but now I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I have nothing to fear from my parents except to feel my own emotions about what they feel about me. That's the thing I'm afraid of doing. Now, I am afraid of doing that because they might still be projecting stuff at me. In fact, highly likely they are. Right? It's very unusual for the parent to change before the child does. It's very unusual for a person who abused us in some way to change before we, the person who's the victim of abuse, change. Right? So the reality is that even as we're changing, they're probably still projecting at us things. And this applies to you if you have children, by the way. You're probably projecting things at your child that they feel is unpleasant, and they might have changed from there, but you're still projecting the same thing. It's the same principle. This projection coming out of you towards your child, or in my case, if I'm the child, I'm receiving the projection. If I've relieved myself of all of the fear associated with any feeling inside of myself about myself, then anything they project at me, I will no longer believe. And I will no longer feel. Automatically. I won't believe. So if they might be saying, little Johnny, you're a crock of shit, right? And if I have dealt with this emotion that I feel my parents feel that way about me, and I've worked my way through it, and I know that I aren't, I know that I'm worth something, they can project whatever they want at me. It's not going to have any effect whatsoever. So it's not a fear of the parents that I really have. It's a fear of feeling my own emotional response to what they project at me that I have. And the same applies in every single relationship you have. It's not the fear that you have in that relationship of the other person. It's a fear of feeling your own feelings as a response. This is our main problem. Our main problem is that we are unwilling to feel our own feelings that are responding to whatever is coming at us. And that's the area that we need to do most of our work. And when we do that, you will no longer fear anyone. So you can actually get to the point where you're still got emotions inside of yourself, you've still got problems inside of yourself, but you no longer fear anyone around you because you realize that the only thing to fear is your own emotional response. That's the only thing you're really afraid of. You're afraid of whether you can cope with your own emotional response. That's what you're afraid of. And once you know that you can cope with your own emotional response from anything, you no longer are afraid of anything. Right? To the point where it restricts your life. So, the thing for us to focus on is not what are they doing to me, but is rather what am I feeling about what they are doing to me. Because once you work through that, and you're no longer afraid of dealing with that, then whatever they do, you'll be fine with. Right? And I mean whatever they do. Like they can murder you and you'll still be fine with it because you know that you can cope with any feeling. Right? Does that make sense? Okay.